This is the intro for my traveling to Thailand from Cleveland to Bangkok here. It's roughly 3-4 days in. Didn't get a ton of video on the trip here, and that gets explained later. But first, I'd like to go ahead and announce that I've come up, I believe, with a contest of for my page here that's going to be pinpointing where Kevin screwed up his video, because I think I've made pretty much every mistake you can make with the camera, the microphone, and all that. I have very little video that you're going to see down the road here, that where I sat there and I talked to my camera for 45 minutes with the mic turned on, but with it on mute, which I can't use much of that video. And then I came out, I fell asleep really early because I'm still not acclimated. And I got up in the middle of the night. I'm like, okay, I'll go down. I got my lights. Let's play around some and all that. Well, I took the remote out to start and stop the camera, and I thought it was dead because the first time I started doing video, I tried using it and I couldn't get it to work. But last night I put it in my pocket with my wallet, and it ended up turning itself. My wallet pressed it long enough to turn it on and actually turn the video off and then back on again with a small section taken out of it. There was a lot more video left in than I thought, which is kind of good, but I got to put that portion, I got to clip that portion in. So I said, the contest is pinpoint where I screwed up my video. You may find this humorous, maybe not, but Mom passed a while ago before technology really took off, and it would be interesting 40 years ago when I just got fresh out of the Navy and was a pretty hard drinker, and I would have been, Ma, one day I'm going to be sitting there somewhere talking to myself, and then lots of people all around the world are going to be watching me and listening to me. She would have been, you need to quit drinking. But Mom, I'm sure she's looking at me now going, hey, I would have never known, would have never guessed. Hi, everybody. Made it to Thailand. I didn't get a lot of video on my way there. On my way here, I guess we'll go over that. Part of it right now was the travel here. I got up at 4 a.m. to go to work. I worked all day, and then I got home after work and shut my house down, and then headed to the airport. My flight left at 7:15 p.m. And then from the Cleveland airport I hung out at this bar. I keep forgetting the name, but it's right across from a Lego machine. And I'll never forget the cutest thing about, a few trips ago, or a couple trips ago, this little kid, they stop, and the mom was curious, but the little kid's like, Mom, can I have some Legos? And he answers just so nicely and sweet. And I'm just like, oh man, you got to buy the kid some Legos, I don't think he got them, which is kind of sad, but anyways, I kind of chilled, sat at the bar, a couple drinks, but it was a 5-hour flight from Cleveland to LAX, and it was kind of rough. My old body was getting a little beat up, and then my, the sciatic, the strain in my back a little bit and feeling it, in that sciatic nerve portion. But then, so I go to the lounge at LAX, which was really nice. I found that no problem, which they had some pretty decent food. I had a little bit to eat. I used their shower, which was really nice. That's a nice, amenity that you have with, the business class tickets, is to being able to use the lounges. Then I tried to get comfortable and get some sleep. And I couldn't sleep on the plane to LAX. I don't sleep very well sitting up or on planes. I couldn't really get much. I couldn't sleep at the area, in the lounge. So, and that was like a 3-hour layover. So that was a little while. I went to the This was unusual. I wasn't used to this. I'm not sure if it was just the airline I was flying, which was Cathay Pacific. American got me to LAX, and they did a great job. American did good. The flight attendants were great, on time, pretty much no events. I got to LAX. I was going to the gate to board the plane to head to Hong Kong, and I didn't no passport, no boarding pass. You just go and you know, it's all face recognition now, or at least at that point it was. I decided once I got on the plane that I was just going to go ahead and I was just going to, you know, just go directly to sleep as soon as I got up in the air. And that's pretty much what I did. I didn't even bother the flight attendants with it. I just got my made up my bed myself and then went to sleep because I didn't wasn't hungry, didn't feel like eating. I just wanted to I just needed to sleep. So okay, managed to sleep for about 5 hours. And then here, as you can see, this is some of the little bit of video that I did get. It was an older style Cathay Pacific plane. Forgot what model. Maybe I could put some text in here. But it was decent accommodations. The service was really good. I've watched a couple of videos where it seemed like people are a little bit harsh on business class flights, and it kind of seemed to me like they were expecting a lot more than what I feel that they should be. The service was good. These people were working really hard, taking care of a lot of people. When I, hit my call button, and it was a little bit, but they came, took care of me. I imagine some flights that are like jam solid that, you might have to wait a little bit. But as far as I was very pleased with the service. It was a decent airline, not one of the newest planes, but not ancient. And it was comfortable enough to go through. It was a 14-hour flight. It was, I think, the longest flight I've been on so far. And it went by seemingly pretty quickly. Entertainment system was pretty good. Okay, now this is the portion that got chopped out by accident. So I arrive at the Hong Kong airport, and I go, and like I said, I only thought I had realistically an hour to get off of one plane and onto the next. It turned out it was going to be a little bit longer. It was like an hour and a half layover, but your plane boards roughly a half hour before it takes off. So I was figuring I was going to have to get from my arrival gate to my departure gate very quickly. Security went by really quick. They did a good job. They just, my cooler that I made up that everybody saw, they did ask what it was and asked if they can turn it sideways. And hey, by the way, the cooler made it. I didn't recharge my ice packs in any of the lounges. I just didn't think about it, but there was just little tiny ice cubes in each bag by the time I made it to Bangkok, and my medication was still nice and cold. Worked. But then after the lounge, I almost made a big mistake. If you fly through Hong Kong, I'm going to warn you about this. I left I was like, I got time, but I don't know why this is, but I just, really do not like sitting in the boarding area waiting on a plane. So I got it down pretty well where I'm like, I leave the lounge, I get there, and then I only wait about 10 minutes or so and get on the plane. This just me. Well, I was like, well, okay. My gate was 63, and I went and I left the lounge, and then I started going, and then you're seeing the arrows, okay, like this way, these gates this way. And then I realized it said gates 10 to 530. And I'm thinking a second, I'm like, wow, I go, wait a minute, 530 gates. I'm like, where am I going to have to go? And it turned out that I had to go to a train. I mean, I'm sitting there just following the signs, and I had to travel quite a bit to get to my gate. And it took me, once I got there, I was about 10 minutes out before they started boarding, anyway, I think it was 5 to 10 minutes. But I mean, if I would have waited at the lounge another 15 minutes, I could have been really pressing it as far as them concluding boarding and then closing that door. So that's just something to think about. Hong Kong airport is the departures is, it may take you a bit to find your gate. Okay, arriving in Bangkok. I mentioned earlier in some video, I don't believe's here, that the filling out the arrival form 3 days before you go to Thailand, which is something that you have to do. You can look it up pretty easy. You find the website, you do it for free, you don't pay for it, and then you'll go ahead and fill out all your information. And then what I did is I put in the day I arrive, the day I leave. And now there's a lot of things I'm going to let you know now that as far as I'm here in June of 26, as of right now, people are saying that, well, they thought that they were going to go back to the 30-day tourist visa. And I arrived in, I was waiting at immigration. So I would try to go through into visa on arrival and I was turned away. I'm not sure why. I've gone through that before. So I went through with everybody else, and a huge crowd, like a few flights all came at the same time, but they got people through very quickly. The monitor above the immigration officers said they wanted your passport, they wanted your the information, the arrival form, which I don't know if they meant the QR code, a visa, if your visa documentation, if you need that was necessary for you, and your boarding pass. For me, all they did is, and I will warn you here on this, I found out, I've heard from a few sources, do not slam your passport on the immigration officer's counter. Place it nicely, slide it to them, let them reach for it. It's very, they do not like that. That may kind of be not very beneficial for you. So she looked at my passport. I have trouble hearing. She asked a couple things but I just put my fingers on the pad to fingerprint my right hand. I looked in the camera. They took my picture. She gave me my passport back. I looked at the stamp, and it was roughly for 60 days. I believe my information was in the computer, and they knew that I was staying for roughly 35 days. Apparently, if it was a 30-day visa, I would have had to get an extension at some point at an immigration office, but I'm fine now. I'll be leaving before my visa is up. So then through immigration, go and I get my luggage. Luckily, the luggage carousel that I was getting, it was right there where I walked out of immigration, grab my bag, and then you go through an exit that they may stop you at customs, inspect what you're bringing into the country. I've been through here several times, haven't been stopped yet. And the system is you get this ticket, and the taxis will be all lined up in a one after the other in a row. You go to the number on the sign above them, and then that's a taxi assigned to you. If they don't run the meter, they could be charging you a little more than what the cab ride should be. People I know do not like riding in the cabs. So what they do is, if you're not familiar with it, there is a app here, the service here called Grab, that's just like Uber in the States. They have a setup now that works out really nicely where everybody's all coming in. Suvarnabhumi Airport is very busy, and it moves fast, but it moves efficiently. They come in a line, and then there's about 4 rows of cars, 3 deep, and they keep just loading up and going and out this little area that they go, and a person directs them in. Here, you take this spot, and all. And then you're just sitting there and you're looking, you call your Grab, and your plate number will be on there. Then usually all the Thai plates can be identified by the final 4-digit numbers on the license plate, and they'll give you the make of the car. And so our Grab driver just came up. We saw him pulling in. We went over. The cars were moving up. We waited till he moved up into the final space. We loaded all our stuff up, and away we went. During the video where I sat and talked to myself the whole time with mute on, nice individual from worked at the 7-Eleven. I was sitting in a different area, and he was right out of shot, and I was making sure to say, hey, you okay? You know, kind of like gesturing, you okay with me? I'm filming here. And he was okay with it. But, you know, as you can see right here, I don't know why he moved into the shot. I guess that was my first photo bomb. Here's a little information that might help. The things that are changing in Thailand, and you know, confirming the changes in Thailand. One thing is though is their alcohol sales. At one point, there was a period they did not sell alcohol. I can't remember the times. It may have been like 2 to 5 o'clock. And they would start at 11 a.m. But now they start, it's all the way from 11 to midnight, I believe. And but like today was a holiday, and they did not have any alcohol sales at a holiday. Now, the other thing different about the Thailand than the United States is you need to go to a liquor store in the United States, a licensed liquor store. Here, I'm walking through the grocery store. I look down on the shelf, a bottle of Jack Daniels. So it's not hard to find alcohol here. Just be careful when you party. You get unruly, they will deal with that. Also, cannabis use has changed in Thailand. It was recreational for a while, and it exploded. Shops popped up, more than 7-Elevens apparently, which is kind of big. Now a lot of shops have closed up since they changed the policy. It's a medical use situation now. You'd want to look into that. Even if for some reason you can go ahead and purchase cannabis, and you cannot smoke in public. I just found out something. I've been here. I think maybe the 12th trip, but I just found out something where I may subscribe online to the Thai Gazette, and apparently these reputable. I'm going to have a meeting with these people about discussing retirement with them. I guess they assist with that, but they said in an interview on another YouTube channel that until it is in the Thai Gazette, it is not official. Thailand talks a lot. They're brainstorming ideas of policy changes and things like this. Until it is in the Thai Gazette, it is not official. I believe that's what the deal is with the 30-day visa, is that it hasn't been made official yet. And a lot of people take that as to, well, yes, that's, it's that way now. And for the most current verified information comes from the Thai Gazette. So looking at some other YouTubers, much more professional than I, one was talking about like getting started and maybe getting a little bit of income from doing YouTube, and was actually I think I reached out to them and wouldn't mind getting a little bit more advice. But basically right now is what I'm starting is exactly what he suggested, is, hey, a cell phone camera, a selfie stick, tripod, and a microphone, and get out there and start recording videos and posting. This trip I'm hoping mainly is kind of more, I actually came this period so I can, I'm celebrating my 60th birthday. I don't know if I feel 60, but hey, I definitely want to put on here in a video that what to expect in different areas. All right, now that the lights are out, it seems like a good time to go ahead and wrap this portion of it up. I was looking on my page, and I could see that that I got quite a few views on some videos that I posted me getting ready to come to Thailand, and I real happy to see that, hey, people are watching. I'd like to get more comments. Go ahead and don't be too cruel, but I mean, it's like, I'm not too sensitive. I go, if you need to be brutal, I can take it, I think. But I mean, just like to know, hey, what do you guys want to see from Thailand? What do you think I can do to improve my videos? I've learned that you can add links into the description, which I'm hoping to do. I can start learning what to put in there that could be helpful for you. Right now, I mean, I consider this, hey, this is kind of like a hobby right now. Maybe in time it could be more.